Hello, this is training 9. This is what to do when you're afraid to go for the promotion. Especially people, well, if you don't know me, I'm Meredith Holly. I am a lawyer and I am a Power Dynamics facilitator and best-selling author. And I help employees stop sexual harassment without quitting their jobs. And one of the things that I hear a lot, particularly from people socialized as women, is that they feel like they're not qualified to go for the job that they really want. They want to get certifications. They want to learn more. They want to have a mentor teach them for years and years and years before they go for the promotion that they want. And or even for their dream, right? I was talking to 2 clients this week and they both had these dreams of being professional, like professionals in the movie industry. One of them has this dream of being an actress, and every time she talks about it, her just entire face lights up. She looks so excited and so thrilled. And then she says, but that's not real. I don't want to tell anybody about it because they might know that I can't really get it. I'm not really going to become an actress. What if I don't get cast and I try for it and people know? And then they say that I was never meant to be an actress. Same with another client I had that I was talking to this week, who really wants to be a movie director, and he's writing a book. And then he's saying, well, I don't ever work on my book because I'm afraid that it's not going to be any good. And I think this is so interesting because they're feeling fear now. They're having this fear experience and they're basically stuck in this fear experience, but it seems like the fear experience is protecting them, which I just think is so fascinating, right? Like, why do we get stuck in kind of a status quo, and because we're afraid to try for something and fail, right? But we're already living in the fear ahead of time. Like, I always think this fear ahead of time is so much worse than anything that's going to happen if and when we fail. Because the only thing that's going to happen if and when we fail is we'll have another feeling. And fear is often so much worse than the other feeling that we might have if we actually try and if we fail. So what I see a lot of people do is they don't try in order to try not to feel fear. And so they're kind of giving into fear and experiencing fear the whole time. Or on the other side, I see a lot of people trying to fix fear before they take action, right? We think I'll just figure out a way to make myself feel confident before I take action, and then I'll take action and I'll be confident and it'll be great and I won't fail and then I won't have to feel fear. Except that when we're trying to fix fear, when we're trying to negotiate with it and trying to make it not be there, we're actually engaging with fear so much. So I'm going to give you an example. When I first was starting my business, I was talking to one of my mentors and I was saying, I'm just afraid that I'm going to start this business and fail. And she said, really the biggest danger, like the biggest consequence if you start the business and you fail is that you're back where you are now, right? Like that's the worst case scenario. So you're already living your worst case scenario. The best case scenario is that you start this business and it really helps people and it really makes an impact. And are you willing to sacrifice that best case scenario for the fear that you're experiencing now? So I especially see this with business owners who have a high level of energy and passion and have a high knowledge of thought work. And a lot of times we try to thought work ourselves out of feeling fear ahead of time. And so what I would suggest is this concept that I'm calling the self-quarantine. So we know when there's infectious disease, and if we're treating workplace cultural health like a public health crisis, we have to like look to all these tools that we use in public health crises, like quarantines, right? And so when there's an infection, when there's a major infection, we put people on quarantine. We just separate them off into their own room. That's all it is, right? We put them like, if you guys have seen, I don't know if you've seen this show, Raising Dion. I think it's such a cute show, but it has one of those superhero situations where he gets to, well, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, fast forward this part. But he gets found out as a superhero, and they immediately come to quarantine him, and they throw him in the back of the van, right? And they cart him off to the laboratory. And so I was thinking about this related to how we treat fear when fear comes up for us. Because really, if we're really indulging in fear, if we're having fear all the time, or if we're trying to fix fear, there's just more fear. Like we're just engaging with more fear. And so really what we have to do is we have to think about the self-quarantine. We have to think about the part of what is happening in our process that's not working, and just let it exist, but let it be in the back seat. Let it be in the back of the van instead of driving the van. So if we are quarantining what's not working for us, it's not that we cut it off or that we repress our feelings or that we don't experience the fear. We just put it in the back of the van. We don't let it drive the van. We let the fear be there, and then we take action anyway, because really the worst case scenario of failing is what you're doing if you're not taking action. You're already living it. And the best case scenario of failing is that you create the life that you want. So I just always remember, like, if I was talking to a client today, and she feels very afraid at work. So she had a coworker threaten her, and then her boss didn't take it seriously. And so she spends a lot of the day thinking, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? I'm afraid, I'm in danger, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. They don't agree that I'm in danger, but am I in danger? And just negotiating with this fear that she has for a large portion of her day. And this is just spreading the fear into her life. She goes home now and she thinks, am I wrong? Am I crazy? But I am in danger. But am I wrong? But am I crazy? And it's this whole spiral for her of not trusting her fear as a message, and then negotiating and debating it. Like, I shouldn't be afraid, but I am afraid. I shouldn't be afraid, but I am afraid. And we get into these processes that just don't work because we're trying to negotiate ourselves out of fear. What we can do in that case is say, I have good instincts. Fear is a message. I'm going to listen to it. And it's not going to drive the car. It's not going to drive the van. It's sitting in the back of the van while I'm driving and making good decisions. And what you can realize in that kind of situation, what I realized is that fear is often a good sign. Fear is often a message that you're going in the right direction and doing something extraordinary. And if you're willing to try and potentially even fail in the direction of your dreams, fear is gonna come up. It's a good sign that you're going in the direction of your dreams, but it's not a sign that you need to stop, that you need to stay stuck, and that you need to fix it before you go in that direction. So this is my concept of just quarantining the fear into the back of the van instead of letting it drive the van, and going for the promotion whether or not you're qualified. Because whether or not you're qualified, going for the promotion, going for your dream is going to get you the experience that's going to produce the qualifications where eventually you'll get there. All right. Let me know if you have any questions about this. If you know somebody who feels like they're underpaid at work or experiencing a negative work environment, send them our way at erisresolution.com or send me a private message here on Facebook. Thanks, you guys.